Hello, my name is Jennifer, and this is my May progress report.
Hey, my name is Andy, and this is my May progress report.
Hi, my name is Asti, and this is my May progress report.
Hi, my name is Louise. This is my May progress report.
My name's Jake, and this is my May progress report.
Hello, everybody. It is officially May, which means we are on our second progress report. And yes, it is absolutely crazy. It's already been an entire month. But that's the whole point of the project, isn't it? To see how fast things move and how fast things change, and how much we grow in such a short amount of time. So today is May 1st, and this is my May progress report. And I'm going to check in with you guys, like all of the other founders, about what I've learned and what I've achieved and whether or not I indeed achieved what I set out to achieve, and all that fun stuff. Last month's goal was to ultimately get this project up and running and get some really good feedback on it, see what we can improve on. That's worked out, but also launch a lot of other different projects in the Anatomy of a Founder brand. And yesterday I did one of my first recordings for the podcast, and that was an achievement in of itself. It does not go without saying there was some hurdles here and there, but with any good project there always will be. And that's the beauty of it, to kind of just learn about yourself and how you work, and whether or not a project is always what it's going to be, what you hope it is. And odds are it's not at first, and it won't be in the first week or 2 or 4. And it'll just grow and it'll get better, and I will get better in front of this camera, which I think I actually already might have. So if anybody was watching my progress report from last month, you might have noticed that I said I'm not that comfortable sitting in front of a camera, but here I am actually talking a lot quicker than I did before.
So last month I said we were going to kick off our crowdfunding campaign, and we have. So we launched middle of April. It's been a great success so far, which is great. So yeah, we have 2 more weeks to go.
We have successfully launched in New York, which is super exciting. And yeah, the launch did go smoothly, which was good. We had a few little hiccups along the way, but I think all in all, it was a successful launch. And yeah, everything's just really ramped up now because we're obviously now operating in different markets. So I think that's really exciting that we've actually managed to go international. And so I'm very happy with that. And yeah, there's just lots more to come.
Last month we talked about getting the prototype ready to start to share with investors, and that has progressed, and it is ready, and we're sharing it now, and we're having discussions with investors. So that feels like took something from idea stage into concept stage, and it's really good to see it taking shape. I also mentioned the last one is sort of progressing our seed fundraise, which is also something that's been going on over the last few weeks too.
So I think what we set out to achieve was kind of be more active in our marketing, and I think it's ongoing. So we're basically testing a whole variety of different marketing channels to really increase the amount of users that we can reach. We achieved that in the sense that we've kind of sat down, strategized as to how we can do that, and are starting to actually move forward on those different strategies. But time will tell whether it's actually been successful or not. But we have achieved it insofar as actually changing the way that we go about our marketing.
I obviously hope to achieve a lot, but as with anyone, one of the biggest things I think that's on my plate is to really build up a community of founders who, like me, believe in giving everybody a fair chance to share their story and vision with the world. So it's officially event season, which means everybody here at Digital Frontier is indeed very busy. I'm actually going to Porto next week for a conference where I'm going to meet a lot of startups and investors and share with them my vision and hear their vision, and really get to bond over that shared experience and interest in the startup world. And so yeah, I really think the goal is to start to meet people where they are, and it's really exciting to build out this community of friends and founders and people that are championing the next wave of change in the world.
So this month the focus is on closing this fundraising round in total. So we're live on CrowdCube at the moment. We've got another 10 days left until we close the campaign, and then we have some institutional investors and sort of bigger ticket angels alongside that. So hopefully by the time I go on paternity leave in 3 weeks, we'll have the round fully closed. And I guess the other thing I hope to achieve this month is having a second child.
This month, what I want to achieve is to really get my hands into the hiring process across New York and America, because we are definitely ramping up demand. So I really need to grow out the team. So I really want to at least have started that process with the interviewing and having some hopefully good candidates in the pipeline. So yeah, hopefully by the end of this month, that will be, on its way to securing some new roles.
This month of May, I hope to have achieved to really have sort of progressed and completed the seed fundraise. That's the real mission, and then be ready to take the prototype to build into MVP and continue our discussions with corporates and start to sort of bring some corporates on board, which I've started the discussions this month, to start to really trial out the model.
We really hope to achieve or gain some positive commercial traction with our insights that we've managed to collect. So over the last month, we've really dug into the data as to how people are using the app, but also kind of their waste savings, their money savings, etc. We found some really positive results, and we're speaking to a couple different organizations about running pilots. Have just completed a pilot, so hopefully we start to get some positive commercial traction when it comes to running further pilots or actually sizing up on these pilots.
One thing I've learned is to really lean in on the strengths you have, and that comes in a bunch of different forms. So on a personal level, that's just about understanding myself and how I work best and where I work best and when I work best. And when it comes to having a busy lifestyle that any journalist does, it can take some time to get used to that, but it's just, I've really learned a lot about myself lately, launching a lot of these different projects and working with founders in the community. And one thing that I hear from founders all the time is, what they think they're really good at, but then they're also quite hard on themselves for what they're not good at. And I just think that we need to not compare ourselves so much and, run with those strengths that we know we have. You might be a really good communicator, but you might not be that good at admin and spreadsheets, and that's okay, because not everybody's a superhero and has that superpower of just doing everything always at every single minute of the day. Even though sometimes you feel like you have to if you're a founder. But, be proud of what you're good at and really lean in on that and try to be a leader in any position that you are in. And that's kind of difficult. So yeah, that's just one thing that I've learned, is that it's okay to not be good at one thing, but be really, really good at the other. And as long as you just know yourself and know where to put those strengths and weaknesses at every point of the day, then I think you're going to be totally okay. And to add to that, one thing I've learned to do as well is, whenever I'm feeling down, pat myself on the back and just remind myself that I love what I do and I'm doing it for a reason. And that is an insanely powerful motivator. I would also like to say that one thing I've learned is that this project is going to have much more value than I originally thought it was going to. Because I can't believe it's been 4 weeks, and I know a lot of founders that are participating in this cannot believe it's already been 4 weeks, and a lot of them have some really interesting growth stories to share and milestones, and it just goes to show that, if that's happening in a month, what's going to happen in 2, what's going to happen in 4, what's going to happen in a year. And for those of you listening and watching, you are coming along for the ride, and that's just beautiful to me.
So the thing we learned last month was, I guess, really around our acquisition channels, and we've just launched an annual version of our subscription plan, and we did it because it makes sense for us. It's great from a unit economics point of view, but we hadn't expected quite how popular it would be, and it's kind of transformed the model for us. And so by selling more annual plans than we were expecting, we can get to profitability much quicker, which is incredible. And we were optimistic, because I'm always optimistic, but we've been really blown away by the popularity and how it can transform the trajectory of the business over the next few months.
Really just taking some time to kind of take a step back and not make my schedule so busy, because ultimately I do just get so overtired and I will just burn out. So I think I've really tried to, as much as there's like so much going on, to really take some time for myself as well, and ultimately that will mean that I'm more productive when I need to be, as opposed to just being constantly like tired and not producing the best work. So yeah.
Separate to learning what you didn't know, but all of a sudden you do know, from on the kind of like venture side, which I love, which is just like even just knowing what a data room is and just keep on learning. And I'm excited to share it with all the other people in the community, our community as well. It's the other thing I've learned, but I knew this already, is just the power of connection. I went to some amazing events again, and it reminds me every time why I love doing what I do, is because when women support each other, there's such a real magic around it. And I absolutely love that, because I'm just seeing so many amazing things that are happening and so many women developing incredible things.
So I was speaking to one of our new advisors, and he said that he managed to land a contract with a massive organization, and he was really surprised by it. And so when he went and asked them, why did you choose me and not my competitor, they basically said that you were really, really easy to work with. We enjoyed working with you. You got us everything that we needed quickly and on time, which I must say is hard to do when you've got 1,000,001 things going on, and you receive an email, you're in the middle of one thing, you're like, oh god, I've got to reply to this now, and then you get distracted. So it's easier said than done, especially when kind of in the founder life we have so many different things that we need to monitor at the same time.
Whenever I remind myself of why I do what I do, and that's because I give founders and leaders and people who want to champion change in the world a place to share their story with the world, for the reason of everybody deserves that. And we need to be championing those voices that have different ways of viewing the world, and different ways of thinking and different ways of working, because we need a little more of that camaraderie. And why I do what I do is to just give people that voice that don't always have that platform, and that keeps me going more than anything. I mean, I adore what I do, and as most founders will agree, and most of you will say, if you love what you do, doing it all the time shouldn't feel so dreadful. And what an absolute privilege it is to be tired because of something you love and something that you think is going to make a change, whether to you, to your family, to your friends, to the world. It's just such a privilege, and we really need to remember that. And that's honestly what keeps me going every week.
In the last month, I think the thing that's really inspired me is how much the team has got behind fundraising. So I spent the first quarter of the year fundraising on my own with VCs and angels. And then in April, we launched the crowdfunding campaign. And in the space of like 2 weeks, we got the whole team on board. We'd filmed our crowdfunding video, we got behind the scenes takes, we'd got the marketing team all involved, we'd written like hundreds of thousands of emails to go out to our marketing lists about it. And like having the whole team focused on fundraising rather than just me is quite distracting for everyone, but like it's been so enjoyable to be fundraising alongside everyone rather than kind of badgering away on my own.
So something that's really kept me going is definitely seeing all of the creator and brand feedback, especially again launching in a new market. So that's very much where our focus is now. So seeing the demand and the feedback has really just heightened my motivation to really just make it a success across the different, across the different markets really, and fulfilling the needs of both creators and brands.
I think that is part of the previous question actually, is a lot of the conversations I've had this month have been really inspiring, whether that's face to face or on calls. I've just met the most incredible people, and those conversations really help you when they sort of really get what you're talking about, and they then sort of give you a connection, or they say you should look at this, or you should. I've just had so many conversations like that, and everyone has just kept me inspired, especially on those days where you're sort of flagging a little bit. Those have top you up. So it only takes one conversation and it can completely kind of inspire you. So yes, amazing people like yourself that I've been meeting along the way.
Spoke to a university lecturer at an event, and I had never met her before. Told her what we did, and she was really positively surprised, and I was kind of shocked. Why do you know who Remy are? Like, how do you know Remy? And she does a lot of lecturing within I think it's the food world, and she's used Remy within her lectures as ways in which people can change their behavior to reduce household food waste. And to meet someone that I've never met before and hear that she was using Remy within her university lectures was really kind of inspiring, and has driven me to continue to work hard and continue to feel like this is, going somewhere.